This is Ruth Hamilton and I'm here with a video for Tonic Studios today, so thanks very much for joining me. Now, if you had bought anything from Tonic towards the end of last year, you'd have got one of these new catalogues. It's a product catalogue for 2021, and inside you'll notice that the first trend of the year, Spring 2021, is Sweet Sorbet, and there's some absolutely beautiful stuff there. Really lovely pastels, so I'm going to show you some of the things that I have here. I don't think I've possibly got it all, but we'll let you see. So first of all, the card. There's sugared lilac, and that's weave textured, and I'll set that over because I think it might be reflecting there, I'm not sure. Miami mint, and that's embossed card, and I'll show you that in more detail later, but there's a beautiful pattern on there. And then this one is a, oh that's beautiful, blue cashmere double-sided pearlized card. And then this one is soft amethyst, and that's a satin effect mirror card. And then there's also this beautiful 24 sheet pad, so it's 6 by 6, and inside you'll see lots of beautiful double-sided paper in all the colours of the rest of the range there. So they're quite, the patterns are the kind of thing that you could use with most things. They're not going to tie you, I think, to specific items. So that's that. There are two embellishment mousses that I've got here anyhow. So there's a beautiful blue one, and this one is called Angel Eyes, and this one is called Pink Unicorn. So they're really beautiful. I love those pastel shades together. And then there's a crackle mousse, which is called Water Nymph. So that's a beautiful aqua kind of shade. And then to go along with that, we've got this little collection of glitter, sequins and confetti. So there's blue sherbet, buttercup haze, candy hearts and dusted fondant. Now you'll notice I've already been using this because I wanted to try it out first of all, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Pixie Wings glacier paste. And toning in with that, then we've got French lilac gloss crystal drops, jewel drops there, and they are called Pink Aura. There's some embossing powder, fairy dust, even the names are lovely in this. This one is Happy Days, as in D-A-Z-E, embossing powder, and this one is Sparkle Spray, so that's a lovely, would act as a lovely foil for most of these if you want to have that in the background. And then beautiful bluish grey stone drops, blue mist that's called, vintage drops which are called peppermint candy. That's really beautiful. Now I have gone ahead just to have a little play with that with one of the Tonic die sets here. I've used the Perfect Petals Peonies die set, and you can see here I have just gone ahead and made a lovely little flower. So what I've done is taken that die set that I showed you with some ivory card. Then I have just with my finger I've gone around the outsides of the petals with this Pixie Wings glacier paste. And then when that has dried, I actually helped it along with my heat gun, but when it had dried then I just embossed it, and I've cut it out twice just to get lots of petals on it, and I've put those all together. And in the centre then I've added some of these crystal drops, and when I looked at that it just gave me such a feeling of, well, the sheen of it was a kind of lustre feeling, and I looked out one of my little dishes here because I thought that would look lovely inside, maybe as a little place setting, or even if you added that on a little band, and then that could then become a really beautiful napkin ring. So there's lots and lots of different ideas that could be used for, but I think I'll just set this stuff aside, pick out what I'm going to use, and then I'll go ahead and show you how to make something with it. Now I've gone ahead and I've prepared quite a lot of the pieces to go onto this card, and for once, sometimes whenever I'm confronted with a lot of different colours of paper and things like that, I want to put everything on, but this time I thought I'd just keep it nice and elegant and just stay with the ivory and this lovely lilac-y shade. So I have used my Tim Holtz Deckle edge trimmer, and I've cut a piece of the sugared lilac card, and I've cut that to 12 centimeters by 17, and that's going to go on here. and then I have cut a piece of the sort of lilac-y spotty one from this pad, and I've cut that to 8 centimeters across by 15 down the way, and I'm going to glue that on. Now I'll show you through all the pieces first, and then I'll just speed the video up while I glue them on. So that's going to go there, and that will go on top. Then I have taken, I've used some extra dies here, so I've used the this long die and this one, and these are from the latest showcase dies, and I'll link everything down below so that you can see those. But what I've done is I've used this one just at the edge of the card, and I've used that beautiful soft amethyst and got this, so that's going to go round about here. So I want to see part of this paper on the side of it, but I've used this lovely die here, and it doesn't have a cutting edge on, so I've just backed one against the other, and then I've cut that to slightly longer than this piece, and I'm going to glue that down there. So I've got a rather tall piece in the near enough to the center of the card, but just slightly to the left of it. Then I have used this lovely little die set, which is called Just Because. A lot of my cards at the moment are just because I feel like sending them to folks for no real reason. So this one is Just Because, and it's the floral scribble die set, and I've cut out this little circle. Now I won't see the flower there, so I'm just going to put the leaves showing here and slightly up, because I've got this lovely big flower that I showed you earlier, and that's going to go on here. Now, because I've already gone ahead and made that one, I'll just show you briefly how I did it here, but I'll not be making the whole flower up. Then I have used the petals, sorry, it's actually the little leaves, and I've cut it out in the cream, just one of each. I'm going to tuck those in there, one each of the cream and the soft amethyst card there. That will go in there. And then another couple of little dies from, it's the Designer's Choice number 17, and it's called Home Sweet Home. So there were lots of little extra dies in that, apart from the little house that it made up. I've lifted out the tag die here, the large butterfly and the tiny butterfly, and the Just Because, obviously I've just said that, is from this floral scribble one, and I've cut it out in the purple, and I'll be sticking that together and gluing that just in there. And then the lovely large butterfly there, I cut it out in cream and I cut it out in lilac, but I think the lilac is the one that matches in well, so that will go there. And then I've cut the tiny one out in ivory, and that's going to go there. And then I have used the what's the name of this, French lilac crystal drops, and I've put that in the center of this, so I'm going to add a few of them around the outside of the card. So before I go ahead and glue all that together, I will just show you how I assembled this flower, just very briefly. So I've got my foam pad here and two different sizes of embossing tools. So there's a large end on this one, and then we've got the two other sizes here. I have cut out each large petal die shape twice for this one, and then I have taken the glacier paste from the set and just dabbed my finger on it and put it around the outside to get that beautiful pearlescent effect there. So I've let that dry and then assembled them all together, but just briefly to show you how to shape the petals like that, just in two different sizes here. So what I've done is I've taken the large end on the embossing tool, and what you want to do is just slightly mould the fibres. Now you can do this is going to be a cup shaped flower, so I have just done this. Now you need to do it gently first of all, and then into the centre, and that will give you that lovely cup shape. Do the same with the next size. There we are. And make sure you have all the petals facing the same way in these, and then you would put a dab of glue into the centre just there and offset those petals like that. And I normally just take a smaller embossing tool, and once those petals are glued together, then I'll just push that down into the centre, and that just brings them up nicely like that. And that's the resulting shape then for this beautiful flower. I love that, and I love just the lovely sheen of that from the glacier paste. So I will just go ahead now and glue all of this together. My second card, I've taken a Tonic Studios Craft Perfect USA 6 card, and I have cut some of this beautiful Miami Mint speciality card, and I hope you can see it there. It's just really beautiful texture on it. And I have cut that to 15 by just under 11 centimeters with my Tim Holtz Deckle Edge trimmer. I'm going to glue that onto the card. My last card was just, I kept the colours all the same, sort of lilacs and whatever, and I thought this time I'll be a bit more colourful. So I'm going to glue that on, and then I have taken the Just Because little floral set that I used on the last card. I have cut out the background dies, and I'll just show you what I did. I have cut this one in white here, and that's going to get glued on top here, and I have used the outside and the inside dies from the set, so that's this one and this one. Now I did place this centre one in so I knew exactly where they went, and taped them both together, and then I cut out this lovely piece of card here, and then a circle that would fit inside from acetate, and I have glued that on with red liner tape. And then I have added some 3D foam pads around the inside of that. So the acetate is glued to the other card with red liner tape, and then on top of that layer I've got these foam pads, and as you can see they're really, really close together with no gaps, and that's really important. You don't want them to cover here or be seen from the outside, but you don't want any gaps, because if you're going to make a shaker card, you need no spaces for this stuff to go through. So I have removed all the backings from all of this, and now I'm going to add some of these gorgeous candy hearts, and I'll just tip those in. Now, sorry, I should say before I do that, I used this same large die to cut out some of this paper from the pad as well, but I just trimmed those edges off because I thought if I didn't just place those exactly right on top of the pads, then it would be more noticeable, and this way it doesn't actually matter if I'm not quite in the proper place for it. So I'll tip some of those in. Those are really beautiful, and they're just catching the light there. They're quite holographic, I think, yep. And I should put a few more in. A couple more. And now I'm going to just place this on top. So I want this spotty paper to be seen from the front of the card, so I'm just going to pop that on top. And the good thing about that spotty paper is that it's not going to, it doesn't matter whether it's the right way up or the wrong way up. Now I need to trim a little bit there, but you can see how that's going to look when it goes on top here. I think I'll just trim around that now. It's actually better if you just make the circle slightly smaller while you're working on it, and then it doesn't matter if you don't get that exactly centered, because it's not the easiest thing at times just to pop the second piece down on top and get it exactly in the right place. So there we are. I have that done, and then I'm going to glue this piece on top, and then I'm going to glue this on here. I have cut out the just because, and this time I'm going to use this card as a top fold card. So I'll be putting this on here, and then I took some white card and just placed it in behind this particular part of the die and ran it through the machine and trimmed off the extra pieces that I didn't need. So I'm left with this little piece, and I am going to tuck that in the top there just to give myself some extra foliage. I'll move that aside, and I have taken the just because and used the same colours for it, and I'm going to pop that on there, and then I'll add some drops. So I'll just go ahead and glue that together. I just added a little bit of twine, so I've got a nice little bow here, and I always like to have a bit of flow with it as well, so I thought that finished the card off nicely. And as you can see, there's the lovely shaker element and the drops, and there's just so much more to this whole trend, the whole sorbet trend, that I'll probably be, I'm sure I'll be using it for the next lot of months. But in the meantime, these are the two cards that I've done for just now, and thanks for joining me, and I hope that if you have enjoyed this video that you'll subscribe to my channel, and then you can see what's coming next. As I always say, keep safe, keep well, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.